Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with another layout for Spiegelmom Scraps, and I am again using my August Kill a Kit with Style. And so what I have done today is I am pulling out all of the red and navy blue elements. So a bunch of these were things that were just kind of leftovers that I had pulled in from another kit, if you watched my kit share video. And so they didn't necessarily all go along with the rest of the kit. So what I have done is I have taken and pulled out all of those elements, and when I'm going to use them together to kind of kill this part of the stash and to create a unique look. So I've taken an 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock and backed it with just a thin border of a navy cardstock, and then I'm going to put it on this red background paper that was from the Wildlife, which was an Echo Park paper that I slipped into this collection. And so I am taking some Distress ink and I am creating 3 areas of inking. And so what I'm going to do is to create kind of 3 little layers of embellishing around where my photo is going to go. So you can kind of see where my photo is going to sit in that space kind of in the middle. So I started with the Distress ink layer, and then I'm going to add a little bit of stamping. And so this is just a stamp from 49th and Market, I believe, that just is like a journey stamp. So it's words and phrases about traveling. And I'm using a navy ink that's just a little bit darker than my Distress ink so that it still shows up on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer in some washi tape. And so this is a technique that I like to use often, and I actually taught this same technique in the class that I just taught in Denver for the Scrap Happy Reunion. And so on top of that washi tape, I'm going to layer a second washi tape that I have torn down the middle. The opposite direction is what you would anticipate. So kind of down the vertical middle rather than just tearing it off the roll. And it gives me a little bit of a fight because it's a thinner washi tape. So it doesn't want to be torn down the middle as much. But if you're using a thicker washi tape, it's a lot easier to tear it in this direction. And so I'm going to add a little piece of that to each one of my kind of clusters here too. And so I'm adding all of this before I even look at putting my photo on. But I know that my photo is going to sit in that space. And so that's okay. I'm okay with adding these details ahead of time. So once I've got those done, then I'm going to go ahead and add in my sequins. And so the ones that I have in my kit are the ones, they're called Blues Traveler from Spiegelmom Scraps. There's also a new one that is hashtag, I believe it's Boys Mom Life. I'll link to it down below, that has these same navy blue sequins in it. So that's a newer collection. So what I did is I went ahead and glued my sequins in rows. So this is the same technique you saw me use last week that I kind of previewed we were going to take it up, step it up a notch. Now I went ahead and I took my paper piercer and I punched through all the holes in those sequins, and then I stitched in a coordinating color. So I used a navy thread to stitch all those sequins together. And it does give them a bunch more texture and a little bit of a different look. So it's definitely a way to take an easy technique and a quick one like we did last week and step it up a little bit. So then over on that left, I went ahead and took my acrylic word Explore, and that was from Bella Boulevard. That was also part of my stash kit. And now you can see I'm just layering all of kind of my embellishments together. So these are all the different embellishments that I had pulled out that had that red and navy kind of oceany water theme to them. And so it's a black and white photo. I left it at a little bit smaller than 4 by 6, and it's just a photo of my son sitting on the beach in San Diego, and he's kind of all wrapped up in a towel, giving me this crazy, like, the sun is really bright, Mom, why are you taking my picture look, which he often gives me on the beach. And he is one of those kids that is like, the minute he's out of the water, he's an absolute freeze baby, like teeth chattering, lips turning blue, oh my goodness, the world is ending, freeze baby. And so him on the beach is very rarely seen without a huge towel wrapped around him because he gets really cold because there's not a lot to him. He's pretty tiny. And so I went ahead and layered some pattern paper as well as some little cardstock frames in each of the top left and bottom right corners. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. So I'm just making it fit right around my sequin rows. So I have one on top, like the top right, the bottom left, and then right in the middle, right at kind of the eye line of where Ty's picture fits. And so that's going to help kind of your eye move throughout the layout, as well as with that huge title that I have going on too. So then I'm going to add my little navy blue seahorse down here in the bottom corner, as well as this foam thicker that just says fun. And that's going to kind of create a little embellishment cluster above and beyond the other one. So it's going to make this one stand out just a little bit. So then I want to have something that's going to make each of the other clusters a little bit different. So the foundation that I built for each of my clusters was the same. The distress ink, the stamping, the torn washi, the stitch sequins. But now, after I have all that foundation done, each one of those clusters is going to become a little bit different. So I am going to add in a little tab up here at the top, and then I end up not leaving it there. I keep trying and it's not working for me. So I'm going to save that for another layout with this same kit. But I really did. I tried and tried and tried to get it on this layout, and it just didn't make the cut. And then I tried the same thing with this little tag. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can get the tag up here. And then I had red and white stripe over red and white stripe. So I tried tucking it into the layers, and it doesn't make the cut either. So a lot of my pages genuinely are trial and error. So if you are somebody who sits at home and feels like, on YouTube, everything works perfectly, but at home, I have to sit and try all these different things, please know that I do the exact same thing. I sit here and I try and try different things, and I play around until I'm happy with it. So I decide to abandon that little issue that I was having up there in the top for a second, and I go ahead and add some enamel dots that are also from my kit. So I'm going to add some of them over there around the die cut that says The Adventure Begins, and then I'm going to add some of them down there around Fun. And then I go back and add this little triangular kind of flag to that top left area of my photo. And so I like how that makes that one a little bit unique. And I try to get some more die cuts in there, but they're too big and it's not working for me. But I did like this one with the red and white stars on it. So I grabbed my little basket of 15 things, and this is a strategy that we're talking about in the Rediscover Your Stash group. About using some of your little pieces and leftovers. So I grabbed that basket and I made an effort to get it on there, but nothing worked. And so I went ahead with that red and white kind of little tab that I had, and I stamped on top of it with some navy ink that just says Relaxed by the Shore. And I decided that that's going to do it for this layout. So I hope this week you will try bumping up your sequin rows a notch by adding some stitching through each of those sequins instead. It is a quick and easy way to add a little bit of extra texture and still get those amazing sequins onto your page. And I will be back to see you soon. Bye!